Keyboard shortcuts in Word. Frequently used shortcuts. This table shows the most frequently used shortcuts in Microsoft Word. To do this, press Open a document. Ctrl plus O. Create a new document. Ctrl plus N. Save the document. Ctrl plus S. Close the document. Ctrl plus W. Cut the selected content to the clipboard. Ctrl plus X. Copy the selected content to the clipboard. Ctrl plus C. Paste the contents of the clipboard. Ctrl plus V. Paste text only. Ctrl plus Shift plus V. Select all document content. Ctrl plus A. Apply bold formatting to text. Ctrl plus B. Apply italic formatting to text. Ctrl plus I. Apply underline formatting to text. Ctrl plus U. Decrease the font size by 1 point. Ctrl plus left bracket. Increase the font size by 1 point. Ctrl plus right bracket. Center the text. Ctrl plus E. Align the text to the left. Ctrl plus L. Align the text to the right. Ctrl plus R. Cancel a command. Escape. Undo the previous action. Ctrl plus Z. Redo the previous action, if possible. Ctrl plus Y. Zoom in. Ctrl plus plus sign. Plus. Zoom out. Ctrl plus minus sign. Return back to 100% zoom. Ctrl plus shunya. Zoom in and out with mouse. Ctrl plus scroll. Split the document window. Ctrl plus Alt plus S. Remove the document window split. Alt plus Shift plus C or Ctrl plus Alt plus S. Use the access keys for ribbon tabs. To go directly to a tab on the ribbon, press one of the following access keys. Additional tabs might appear depending on your selection in the document. To do this, press Move to the Tell Me or Search field on the ribbon to search for assistance or help content. Alt Q, then enter the search term. Open the file page to use Backstage View. Alt F. Open the Home tab to use common formatting commands, paragraph styles, and the Find tool. Alt H. Open the Insert tab to insert tables, pictures and shapes, headers, or text boxes. Alt N. Open the Design tab to use themes, colors, and effects such as page borders. Alt G. Open the Layout tab to work with page margins, page orientation, indentation, and spacing. Alt P. Open the References tab to add a table of contents, footnotes, or a table of citations. Alt S. Open the Mailings tab to manage mail merge tasks and to work with envelopes and labels. Alt M. Open the Review tab to use spell check, set proofing languages, and to track and review changes to your document. Alt R. Open the View tab to choose a document view or mode, such as Read mode or Outline view. You can also set the zoom magnification and manage multiple document windows. Alt W. Work in the ribbon with the keyboard. To do this, press. Select the Active tab on the ribbon and activate the access keys. Alt or F thus. To move to a different tab, use access keys or the arrow keys. Move the focus to commands on the ribbon. Tab key or Shift plus Tab. Move between command groupings on the ribbon. Ctrl plus left or right arrow key. Move among the items on the ribbon. Arrow keys. Show the tooltip for the ribbon element currently in focus. Ctrl plus Shift plus F thus. Activate the selected button. Spacebar or Enter. Open the list for the selected command. Down arrow key. Open the menu for the selected button. Alt plus down arrow key. When a menu or submenu is open, move to the next command. Down arrow key. Expand or collapse the ribbon. Ctrl plus F8. Open the context menu. Shift plus F thus. Or On a Windows keyboard, the Windows menu key between the right Alt and right Control keys. Move to the submenu when a main menu is open or selected. Right arrow key. Navigate the document. To do this, press. Move the cursor one word to the left. Control plus left arrow key. Move the cursor one word to the right. Control plus right arrow key. Move the cursor up by one paragraph. Control plus up arrow key. Move the cursor down by one paragraph. Control plus down arrow key. Move the cursor to the end of the current line. End. Move the cursor to the beginning the current line. Home. Move the cursor to the top of the screen. Control plus Alt plus page up. Move the cursor to the bottom of the screen. Control plus Alt plus page down. Move the cursor by scrolling the document view up by one screen. Page up. Move the cursor by scrolling the document view down by one screen. Page down. Move the cursor to the top of the next page. Control plus page down. Move the cursor to the top of the previous page. Control plus page up. Move the cursor to the end of the document. Control plus end. Move the cursor to the beginning of the document. Control plus home. Move the cursor to the location of the previous revision. Shift plus F5. Move the cursor to the location of the last revision made before the document was last closed. Shift plus F5 immediately after opening the document. Cycle through floating shapes such as text boxes or images. Control plus Alt plus punch and then the tab key repeatedly. Exit the floating shape navigation and return to the normal navigation. Escape. Display the navigation task pane to search within the document content. Control plus F. Display the Go-To dialog box to navigate to a specific page, bookmark, footnote, table, comment, graphic, or other location. Control plus G. Cycle through the locations of the 4 previous changes made to the document. Control plus Alt plus Z. Preview and print documents. To do this, press Print the document. Control plus P. Switch to Print Preview. Control plus Alt plus I. Move around the preview page when zoomed in. Arrow keys. Move by one preview page when zoomed out. Page up or page down. Move to the first preview page when zoomed out. Control plus Home. Move to the last preview page when zoomed out. Control plus End. Select text and graphics. To do this, press Select text. Shift plus arrow keys. Select the word to the left. Control plus Shift plus left arrow key. Select the word to the right. Control plus Shift plus right arrow key. Select from the current position to the beginning of the current line. Shift plus Home. Select from the current position to the end of the current line. Shift plus End. Select from the current position to the beginning of the current paragraph. Control plus Shift plus up arrow key. Select from the current position to the end of the current paragraph. Control plus Shift plus down arrow key. Select from the current position to the top of the screen. Shift plus page up. Select from the current position to the bottom of the screen. Shift plus page down. Select from the current position to the beginning of the document. Control plus Shift plus Home. Select from the current position to the end of the document. Control plus Shift plus End. Select from the current position to the bottom of the window. Control plus Alt plus Shift plus page down. Select all document content. Control plus A. Extend a selection. To do this, press Start extending the selection. F8. In the Extend Selection mode, clicking a location in the document extends the current selection to that location. Select the nearest character to the left or right. F8, left or right arrow key. Expand the selection. F8 repeatedly to expand the selection to the entire word, sentence, paragraph, section, and document. Reduce the selection. Shift plus F8. Select a vertical block of text. Control plus Shift plus F Art, then press the arrow keys. Stop, extending the selection. Escape, edit text and graphics. To do this, press delete one word to the left. Control plus backspace. Delete one word to the right. Control plus delete. Open the clipboard task pane and enable the Office clipboard, which allows you to copy and paste content between Microsoft 365 apps. Alt, H, F, O. Cut the selected content to the clipboard. Control plus X. Copy the selected content to the clipboard. Control plus C. Paste the contents of the clipboard. Control plus V. Move the selected content to a specific location. F2. Move the cursor to the destination and then press Enter. Copy the selected content to a specific location. Shift plus F2. Move the cursor to the destination and then press Enter. Define an auto text block with the selected content. Alt plus F13. Insert an auto text block. The first few characters of the auto text block, and then press Enter when the screen tip appears. Cut the selected content to the spike. Control plus F13. Paste the contents of the spike. Control plus Shift plus F13. Copy the selected text formatting. Control plus Alt plus C. Paste the selected text formatting. Control plus Alt plus V. Paste text only. Control plus Shift plus V. Copy the header or footer used in the previous section of the document. Alt plus Shift plus R. Display the Replace dialog box to find and replace text, specific formatting, or special items. Control plus H. Display the Object dialog box to insert a file object into the document. Alt N J J. Insert a smart art graphic. Alt N M. Insert a word art graphic. Alt N W. Align and format paragraphs. To do this, press Center the paragraph. Control plus E. Justify the paragraph. Control plus J. Align the paragraph to the left. Control plus L. Align the paragraph to the right. Control plus R. Indent the paragraph. Control plus M. Remove a paragraph indent. Control plus Shift plus M. Create a hanging indent. Control plus T. Remove a hanging indent. Control plus Shift plus T. Remove paragraph formatting. Control plus Q. Apply single spacing to the paragraph. Control plus A. Apply double spacing to the paragraph. Control plus Do. Apply 1.5 line spacing to the paragraph. Control plus 5. Enable auto format. Control plus Alt plus K. Apply the normal style. Control plus Shift plus N. Apply the heading ek style. Control plus Alt plus ek. Apply the heading Do style. Control plus Alt plus Do. Apply the heading Teen style. Control plus Alt plus Teen. Display the Apply Styles task pane. Control plus Shift plus S. Display the Styles task pane. Control plus Alt plus Shift plus S. Format characters. To do this, press Display the font dialog box. Control plus D or Control plus Shift plus F. Increase the font size. Control plus Shift plus right angle bracket. Decrease the font size. Control plus Shift plus left angle bracket. Increase the font size by 1 point. Control plus right bracket. Decrease the font size by 1 point. Control plus left bracket. Switch the text between uppercase, lowercase, and title case. Shift plus F13. Change the text to all uppercase. Control plus Shift plus A. Hide the selected text. Control plus Shift plus H. Apply bold formatting. Control plus B. Add a bulleted list. Control plus Shift plus L. Apply underline formatting. Control plus U. Apply underline formatting to the words, but not the spaces. Control plus Shift plus W. Apply double underline formatting. Control plus Shift plus D. Apply italic formatting. Control plus I. Apply small caps formatting. Control plus Shift plus K. Apply subscript formatting. Control plus Shift plus minus sign. Apply superscript formatting. Control plus Shift plus sign. Plus. Remove manual character formatting. Control plus spacebar. Change the selected text to the symbol font. Control plus Shift plus Q. Manage text formatting. To do this, press Display all non-printing characters. Control plus Shift plus Alt. Do not use the numeric keypad. Display the Reveal Formatting task pane. Shift plus F8. Insert special characters. To do this, press Insert a line break. Shift plus Enter. Insert a page break. Control plus Enter. Insert a column break. Control plus Shift plus Enter. Insert an M dash. Control plus Alt plus minus sign on the numeric keypad. Insert an N dash. Control plus minus sign on the numeric keypad. Insert an optional hyphen. Control plus Alt plus minus sign. Insert a non-breaking hyphen. Shift plus Alt plus minus sign. Insert a non-breaking space. Control plus Shift plus spacebar. Insert a copyright symbol. Press C. Insert a registered trademark symbol. Control plus Alt plus R. Insert a trademark symbol. Control plus Alt plus T. Insert an ellipsis. Control plus Alt plus period, dot. Insert the Unicode character for the specified Unicode hexadecimal character code. For example, to insert the euro currency symbol, type 20 AC and then hold down Alt and press X. Tip: to find out the Unicode character code for a selected character, press Alt plus X. The character code, then press Alt plus X. Insert the ANSI character for the specified ANSI decimal character code. For example, to insert the euro currency symbol, hold down Alt and press 0128 on the numeric keypad. Alt plus the character code on the numeric keypad. Work with web content. To do this, press Insert a hyperlink. Control plus K. Go back one page. Alt plus left arrow key. Go forward one page. Alt plus right arrow key. Refresh the page. F9. Work with tables. Move around in a table. To do this, press Move to the next cell in the row and select its content. Tab key. Move to the previous cell in the row and select its content. Shift plus Tab. Move to the first cell in the row. Alt plus Home. Move to the last cell in the row. Alt plus End. Move to the first cell in the column. Alt plus Page Up. Move to the last cell in the column. Alt plus Page Down. Move to the previous row. Up arrow key. Move to the next row. Down arrow key. Move one row up. Alt plus Shift plus up arrow key. Move one row down. Alt plus Shift plus down arrow key. Select table content. To do this, press Select the content in the next cell. Tab key. Select the content in the previous cell. Shift plus Tab. Extend a selection to adjacent cells. Shift plus arrow keys. Select a column. Select the top or bottom cell of the column and then press Shift plus Page Up or Page Down arrow key. Select a row. Select the first or last cell in the row and then press Shift plus Alt plus End or Home. Select the whole table. Alt plus punch on the numeric keypad with num lock switched off. Insert paragraphs and tab characters in a table. To do this, press Insert a new paragraph in a cell. Enter. Insert a tab character in a cell. Control plus Tab. Review a document. To do this, press Open the Review tab. Alt R. Show list of comments. Alt R P 1 L. Insert a comment. Control plus Alt plus M. Turn change tracking on or off. Control plus Shift plus E. Close the reviewing pane. Alt plus Shift plus C. Work with references, citations, and indexing. Use the following shortcuts to add references to your document, such as a table of contents, footnotes, and citations. To do this, press Mark a table of contents entry. Alt plus Shift plus O. Mark a table of authorities entry, citation. Alt plus Shift plus I. Choose citation options. Alt plus Shift plus F bar, space bar. Mark an index entry. Alt plus Shift plus X. Insert a footnote. Control plus Alt plus F. Insert an endnote. Control plus Alt plus D. Go to the next footnote. Alt plus Shift plus right angle bracket. Go to the previous footnote. Alt plus Shift plus left angle bracket. Work with mail merge and fields. To use the following keyboard shortcuts, the Mailings ribbon tab must be selected. To select the Mailings tab, press Alt plus M. Perform a mail merge. To do this, press Preview the mail merge. Alt plus Shift plus K. Merge a document. Alt plus Shift plus N. Print the merged document. Alt plus Shift plus M. Edit a mail merge data document. Alt plus Shift plus E. Insert a merge field. Alt plus Shift plus F. Work with fields. To do this, press Insert a date field. Alt plus Shift plus D. Insert a list num field. Control plus Alt plus L. Insert a page field. Alt plus Shift plus P. Insert a time field. Alt plus Shift plus T. Insert an empty field. Control plus F now. Update the linked information in a Word source document. Control plus Shift plus F sat. Update the selected fields. F now. Unlink a field. Control plus Shift plus F now. Switch between a selected field code and its result. Shift plus F now. Switch between all field codes and their results. Alt plus F now. Run Go to button or macro button from a field displaying field results. Alt plus Shift plus F now. Go to the next field. F11. Go to the previous field. Shift plus F11. Lock a field. Control plus F11. Unlock a field. Control plus Shift plus F11. Work with text in other languages. Set the proofing language. Every document has a default language, typically the same default language as your computer's operating system. If your document also contains words or phrases in a different language, it's a good idea to set the proofing language for those words. This not only makes it possible to check spelling and grammar for those phrases, but it also enables assistive technologies like screen readers to handle them appropriately. To do this, press Display the language dialog box to set the proofing language. Alt plus R, U, L. Set default languages. Alt plus R, L. Insert international characters. To type a lowercase character by using a key combination that includes the Shift key, hold down the Control plus Shift plus symbol keys simultaneously, and then release them before you type the letter. Note: if you type extensively in another language, you might prefer to switch to a different keyboard instead. Use input method editors for East Asian languages. To do this, press Switch to the Japanese input method editor IME for a 101 key keyboard if available. Alt plus tilde. Switch to the Korean input method editor IME for a 101 key keyboard if available. Right Alt. Switch to the Chinese input method editor IME for a 101 key keyboard if available. Control plus spacebar. Work with document views. Word offers several different views of a document. Each view makes it easier to do certain tasks. For example, read mode enables you view the document as a horizontal sequence of pages, which you can quickly browse using the left and right arrow keys. Switch the document view. To do this, press Switch to the read mode view. Alt plus W. F. Switch to the print layout view. Control plus Alt plus P. Switch to the outline view. Control plus Alt plus O. Switch to the draft view. Control plus Alt plus N. Outline a document. These shortcuts only apply when the document is in the outline view. To do this, press Promote a paragraph. Alt plus Shift plus left arrow key. Demote a paragraph. Alt plus Shift plus right arrow key. Demote the paragraph to body text. Control plus Shift plus N. Move the selected paragraphs up. Alt plus Shift plus up arrow key. Move the selected paragraphs down. Alt plus Shift plus down arrow key. Expand the text under a heading. Alt plus Shift plus plus sign. Plus. Collapse the text under a heading. Alt plus Shift plus plus sign. Plus. Expand or collapse all text or headings. Alt plus Shift plus A. Hide or display the character formatting. / bata on the numeric keypad. Switch between showing the first line of body text and showing all body text. Alt plus Shift plus L. Show all headings with the heading 1 style. Alt plus Shift plus A. Show all headings with the specified heading level. Alt plus Shift plus heading level number. Insert a tab character. Control plus tab. Move through the document in read mode. To do this, press Move to the beginning of the document. Home. Move to the end of the document. End. Go to a specific page. Type the page number, then press Enter. Exit read mode. Escape. Zoom and adjust view. Use these shortcuts while focus is on your document to quickly adjust the zoom level. To do this, press Zoom in. Control plus plus. Plus. Zoom out. Control plus minus. Return to 100% zoom. Control plus shunya. Zoom in and out. Control plus scroll. Use function key shortcuts. Key. Description. F1. F1 alone displays the word help task pane. Shift plus F1 displays or hides context-sensitive help or the reveal formatting task pane. Control plus F1 displays or hides the ribbon. Alt plus F1 moves to the next field. Alt plus Shift plus F1 moves to the previous field. F2 alone moves the selected text or graphic. Use the arrow keys to place the cursor where you want to move the text or graphic and then press Enter to move or press Escape to cancel. Shift plus F2 copies the selected text or graphic. Use the arrow keys to place the cursor where you want to copy the text or graphic and then press Enter to copy or press Escape to cancel. Control plus F2 displays the print preview area on the print tab in the backstage view. Alt plus Shift plus F2 saves the document. Control plus Alt plus F2 displays the open dialog box. F3. Shift plus F3 switches the selected text between uppercase, lowercase, and title case. Control plus F3 cuts the selected content to the spike. You can cut multiple texts and graphics to the spike and paste them as a group to another location. Control plus Shift plus F3 pastes the contents of the spike. Alt plus F3 creates a new building block. F4 alone repeats the last command or action, if possible. Shift plus F4 repeats the last find or go to action. Control plus F4 closes the current document. Alt plus F4 closes Word. F5 alone displays the Go To dialog box. Shift plus F5 moves the cursor to the last change. Control plus Shift plus F5 displays the bookmark dialog box. Alt plus F5 restores the document window size. F6 alone switch between the document task pane, status bar, and ribbon. In a document that has been split, F6 includes the split panes when switching between panes and the task pane. Shift plus F6 switches between the document, ribbon, status bar, and task pane. Control plus F6 switches to the next document window when more than one document is open. Control plus Shift plus F6 switches to the previous document window when more than one document is open. Alt plus F6 moves from an open dialog box back to the document for dialog boxes that support this behavior. F7. F7 alone displays the editor task pane to check spelling and grammar in the document or the selected text. Shift plus F7 displays the thesaurus task pane. Control plus Shift plus F7 updates the linked information in a Word source document. Alt plus F7 finds the next spelling or grammatical error. Alt plus Shift plus F7 displays the translator task pane. F8. F8 alone extends the selection. For example, if a word is selected, the selection size is extended to one sentence. Shift plus F8 reduces the selection. For example, if a paragraph is selected, the selection size is reduced to one sentence. Control plus Shift plus F8 turns Extend Selection mode on and off. In the Extend Selection mode, the arrow keys extend the selection. Alt plus F8 displays the macro dialog box to create, run, edit, or delete a macro. F9 alone updates the selected fields. Shift plus F9 switches between a field code and its result. Control plus F9 inserts an empty field. Control plus Shift plus F9 unlinks the current field. Alt plus F9 switches between all field codes and their results. Alt plus Shift plus F9 runs Go to button or macro button from a field displaying field results. Thus, F10 alone turns key tips on or off. Shift plus F thus displays the shortcut menu for the selected item. Control plus F thus maximizes or restores the document window size. Alt plus F thus displays the selection task pane. Alt plus Shift plus F thus displays the menu or message for available actions, for example, for pasted text or an autocorrect change. F11. F11 alone moves to the next field. Shift plus F11 moves to the previous field. Control plus F11 locks the current field. Control plus Shift plus F11 unlocks the current field. Alt plus F11 opens the Microsoft Visual Basic for Applications editor, in which you can create a macro using Visual Basic for Applications VBA. F12. F12 alone displays the save as dialog box. Shift plus F12 saves the document. Control plus F12 displays the open dialog box. Control plus Shift plus F12 displays the print tab in the Backstage view. Alt plus Shift plus F12 selects the Table of Contents button in the Table of Contents container when the container is active. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.